I'm starting it now.
Okay.
Nothing stays hidden from me. Nothing.
Is it up on Twitch?
Oh, hold up.
It's on
Shit.
his. No,
Hold,
leave it on
string.
yours. Leave it on yours. It's fine.
Oh shit. Forgot to change the string key.
It's cool. It's cool.
They can throw the whole playbook at us. I've seen it all before.
Oh, but your title is.
Yeah. Oh, I could change it.
Reloading.
Hold up.
Go for it. Go for it.
Reloading. Reloading. Reloading.
You might want to lower the game's volume on your end, Jang.
Okay.
Reloading.
Shit, people are gonna be so confused. People are gonna be so confused, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. All right, I'm dropping the volume on mine so it doesn't record the loudest volume in the background.
Thirty seconds left.
How do I do cheats? Console?
How do I? What was your first top again? Next gen.
Entry level next gen console.
Ten seconds left.
We won, guys. Nice.
You say something? Sorry, ear's still ringing.
No, the stream is. Jesus Christ, dude. The shit is so loud, dude.
Am I tripping or is there two floating guns right here?
Okay, we're good now.
You know what to do.
We're good?
Reloading.
Good.
Vargas, you ready?
Where did Jang go?
I don't know. It says he's here.
But he's.
I was. Vargas, are you ready on your side?
Yeah, I'm ready on my side.
Okay.
No, it's like because if I minimize the screen.
Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Crows, joined always by my co-host, Danny Vargas
Hello.
and Danny Jang.
Whoosh, 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 whoosh.
And if you're not familiar with what we do, we come to each and every week to podcasting services of your choice to talk about nerdy stuff, comics, games, movies, everything in between, pop culture. You name it, we talk about it. And we come to you to podcasting services on Monday. And we've been coming digitally through stream. So if you're watching now live, thanks for joining us. Feel free to comment, say stuff, chime in whenever. We'll try to address any comments or questions we see. And yeah, we have fun. We hope you have fun. today. Usually
30
in
seconds
these
left.
last quarantine streams, we've been doing it through Animal Crossing, but since we all have access to Valorant, we thought
Out
why
of
not
charges.
give it a try in Valorant. So, with that, um, guys, what have you been up to?
Been playing a lot of World of Warcraft.
10 seconds left.
Blizzard, boosh boosh.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, I got into like classic again, so I've been playing the classic. But what else? Dude, I haven't even touched my Final Fantasy game, so I'm still in the same spot I was last time.
I was gonna ask if you'd beaten it or not.
Haven't even touched
We're
it.
the best.
um,
Any of you forget that?
what else have I done? Still doing good. Still got a job, so that's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
What else? I think since last time, I don't know. Have I told you guys that I got like furloughed half hours, so I only work half. I
Yeah.
work 20-hour shifts
Yeah, you
yeah,
told
you
us.
work.
or 20-hour a
We'll
week.
find you.
So
You can only play like one game of Valorant a night because
because like Valor can't, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I haven't done much else. I managed to hardwire my internet, so I'm no longer just like Wi-Fi. So you know, Cold Marmalade might be coming back, dude.
Hey.
Oh.
So there's that.
He's a crazy ass Valorant streamer. If you guys don't know.
One game a night.
I'm probably gonna continue the.
In solo, he doesn't play with friends.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna finish the what is it, the Grand Theft Auto stream, the San Andreas that I was doing. But yeah, that's it for me. Haven't done much.
Jang, what about you?
Bit of Animal Crossing, but a shit ton of Valorant, dude. We back, boys. Yeah, like I don't like shooters, or I guess my taste in games, I don't really like shooters, but I don't know, something about this brings back the old Counter-Strike, and I'll talk more about it when we do one of our
30
topics.
seconds left.
But I'm enjoying it, man.
Has most of your experiences been solo with viewers with what's
It's
your
like
game?
half and half.
My ultimate is ready.
It's like half with not viewers, half with like friends and half with solo. It's more fun with friends for sure, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I'm surprised people are actually watching the stream because that's a really saturated game. I think.
Valorant?
Yeah.
I think it counters that by what's it called? By having the drops enabled thing.
Mm.
You guys hit escape. You guys can turn on your cheats at the very top, and you can like respawn yourself.
Yeah, this game full of cheats, so you know.
So I paused the timer, so the timer's not moving anymore.
How do
My
you?
ultimate is ready. I must
the hell just
survive to
happened?
protect my family.
Oh, probably because I won.
I can't lose them.
Anyway, so Jang, anything else?
Oh, I started reading 30 Days with the Seal. It's like
What's that about?
so. Vargas, you bought a book about that Navy SEAL and the autobiography.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So this guy got famous because he's like a rich CEO and he decided to have a Navy SEAL live with him and train him for 30 days. And so his wife is more famous than the CEO. His wife is like the creator of Spanx.
Mm.
But yeah, so I'm reading that book and it's pretty hilarious. Dude, that dude's on another level, that Navy SEAL. There's not a lot of people. He's like a Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan mentality. There's not a lot of people that work hard like that. And yeah, it's interesting. It's funny book. But that's about it. Streaming Valorant and reading, dude.
What? Yeah, I was gonna ask real quick. What have you been doing in Animal Crossing?
I was trying to get turnips, but I just do my dailies pretty much. I just like hit rocks, get my iron ores, trying to hope for gold, and see what villager is like chilling in my, or which NPC is chilling in my island.
Oh, okay. For me, yeah, it's been still Animal Crossing going strong. I didn't go crazy with Jean-Claude Van Damme this week. Um, I was very curious. Jank, last week you had really good turnip prices. I want to see how accurate the pattern would be, and that was something I was curious about. So I just decided to play out
Last
the week.
player standing.
And funny enough, I was like, all my friends now at work are like getting in on it. So like every morning, I'm getting just like a spray of texts of like, oh, these are my turnip prices. These are my turnip prices of all these different people. Um, but I was like, you know what? Because I mean, I'm working from home, so I just put my switches to the side, and I found this island, and it was an interesting like the turnip exchange like request, because people have demands of like recipes, gold, whatever. This guy had a low queue, and his request was 400k, so like 4 bags, and he says, "I will close this gate if anyone doesn't like. You can pay me after, but if anyone doesn't pay me, I will close the gate." So it's sort of like a trust, and like everyone had to like make sure they do it, otherwise everyone loses. And his prices were 630. So I was like, all right, we'll see. And it was like 2 hours later, I got my turnips and gave him like 400k, and I was like, all right, got 2 mil out of that. So
Last player standing.
that was nice. Then I tried another one of those Animal Crossing tools. It was Nookazon, which is like the Amazon for like Nook stuff. And I remember last time you were saying like there's eBay for it, but I tried this Nookazon. It essentially links to a Discord channel where you talk in private chats, and this guy had a fighting cabinet. So I got the fighting cabinet, and now I can get as many as I want.
How much did it cost?
Um, s-
Everything.
Everything.
it cost 60k,
Wow.
but I mean, I didn't, whatever.
I know. Time travel.
Yeah. So I've been gifting it to a couple of friends, and then
My ultimate is ready. Let's see what I have to use.
I've been trying to figure out, like, I haven't really paid attention to my island
Not too
design,
dark.
and I really want to like come up with something interesting. So I've been trying to play around with like what I should be doing, what the order of operations should be, on like how to make it happen. Um, so that's still in work. And then lastly, the Earth Day stuff just started. So I've been like talking to a lot of friends, trying to see what everyone has for shrubs, because there's like 13 different shrubs, I think, and I have. So it's literally started today. I have all the different types except for four colors.
Okay.
So if you have tea, olive, or hydrangea, um, those are the ones I've been looking for.
The heck, I don't know. I have azaleas and hibiscus bushes, only
Yeah.
2 colors, and then I have roses and something else, only 2 colors.
Oh, you can also buy flowers from them, and so I started doing like all the cross breeding for the flower colors.
Hmm.
And I got all the different kinds. I just had them set up in the pattern, so I'm just trying to like manage things now in that. Valorant, I've been playing a lot with you guys mostly.
Yeah.
Um, at least like 1 or 2 games a night for the most part. Um, which has been fun. And then like is it some of your guys' friends from like prior works?
For the
Foley.
For,
Same
Foley
same
and
same workplace. I don't know. That's his customer, so
oh, I see, I see.
My ultimate is
Um,
ready.
yeah, been playing with you guys and them. Like we did a full squad a few times. That was a lot of fun. And then yeah, I'm just we'll talk about Valorant a lot more in the topics. Lastly, I finished Legion finally. The show Legion.
yeah.
Really good. Like it was really
30
weird,
seconds left.
but the way the creator of that show, Noah Hawley, he does Fargo, the TV series, is very interesting. Like it's very eccentric. It's like the closest I can think of is Grant Morrison for TV. Like he has these odd ideas, and you don't know how it all kind of like kind of connects. But when it does, it's I don't know. It's still it clicks. Um, So that's been fun, and now I'm working on Mr. Robot. So I'm hoping to finish that. So, yeah, that's me. Do you guys want to get into topics now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So, I've been reading up that possibly in May, Microsoft is going to reveal a low-cost entry console for next gen. So it's
Okay.
supposed to, this is something that they're trying to, I guess, get to replace the Xbox that they have now. And so that people can buy like a new Xbox that has capabilities for next gen, so it can play next gen games, but it won't have all of the features that a next gen console will have. So,
Okay.
so essentially, it's going to be similar to like I guess a Switch Lite, where it's a way to pay less to get a console to play the games, but it's not going to have all the features that a full Switch has. So it's worked really well with Switch. Like they sold out essentially. They sold out their standard and the Lite. How do you think something like that would work with a general next gen console, like an Xbox or a PlayStation 4, or like I guess a PlayStation 5 at this point? How do you think like a next gen low cost entry level machine would work and succeed possibly?
Jane, do you want to go first?
Well, it's just like I think we have that already. It's just like the PS4 Pro and the PS4.
But in that sense, they went the other way. They came out with a console and then they made a better version of it that they came out with. So, but the original was still like worth more than what the Pro is. The original was $600 for the PS4. What do you think of one that comes out that would cost like, let's say, a new next gen comes out, it's $600, but at the same time they come out with a console that's half the features for $300? Do you think that would do well? Jay?
I mean, I think it's the same thing. It's like the PS4 Pro and the PS4. I mean, I think it will do well.
Yeah.
Both will sell nice.
I mean, I think it's marketing. I don't think the Switch Lite would have done as well had it come out the same time as the Switch. I think that phased approach works. I think it's more akin to how phones come out.
Yeah.
You often see like the top, like let's take Apple. You see like the high end iPhone Pro or Max or what the hell, and then you see like more of the entry level variant. And video game consoles have been going towards sort of like that phone iterative design for a while now. The Pro, the Lite, all these things. Phones have been doing that where it's like here's the 11, and they'll sometimes come out with it at the same time. Like another example is the Samsung. They'll do like the S10, or whatever the S models are, and then halfway through the year they release like the Note, and the Note is supposed to be like the premium, no holds barred experience, and then later on they'll release the Lite, which is like the more cheap, affordable experience, and I think they're like seeing patterns of like those working for people. I just don't know with video games if it works as well because you don't have your video game consoles tied to like internet providers where you're like,
Right.
oh, I sign up on a contract. Is that the next step? Like, how do you like? I just those trends don't all translate to me. I don't if it'll always work. I think that phased approach works. The Pro, the Lite, where they don't come at the same time, but at the same time, I don't know, Vargas. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't think. Actually, strangely enough, I think it'll work. I think if they come out with at launch like a secondary console that's just like half price or like lower cost than the general one, I think it'll manage to sell well. If anything, that might be like the console. They might realize like might be like the way to go instead of having like a generalized full-blown console. They're just gonna come out with like versions of like next gens that'll sell well. Because a lot of people, feature-wise, I mean, obviously, if someone has it, they'll take advantage of it. But I don't know if people like take full advantage of it. Like if they realize like if they don't have it, that they can still live without it.
Mm. I don't know. Like I was trying to think about this more, and when you first had let us know what the topic was, I had a few questions about like what I would be asking as a consumer. And so the first thing I would ask myself, and I think many people ask, would be, what does it offer an answer to? So like some people are like, I want an entry into this next gen, but I want it at a more affordable like
Mhm.
value, so cost. Or like another example is VR. You want VR, but you don't have the room or the equipment to service or supply the VR unit, like the space or whatever.
Yeah.
All the cables, the constraints. So you're like, okay, I want something a little bit more less constraints. Um, if like things like that, like what is it offering you that you've been needing? The Switch Lite was this fully portable, cheaper solution, offers you pretty much the same experience. But then my next question would be, what does it sacrifice to get what you offer? Do you lose out on visuals? Do you lose out on performance, like more load speeds, or do you lose out on like premium content, like the Switch Lite? You can't dock it on a TV. You can't use like multiple Joy Cons, um, stuff like that. And then like weighing those two, like what are you getting and what are you losing, and like that's what applying that to this Xbox entry thing. I don't know what I'm gaining from it other than like it's more affordable. But if they already have like xCloud, they already have PC access. Like I already feel like I can play the things I want at a more affordable way. This offering another way to do that just feels like it's saturating itself. To me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think right now there's no if people want to get into
Like if I
want to
want to
get
play
a console.
Xbox and I don't
Mhm.
want a console, I could have a souped up computer, and I already like I may or may not, but I'm just saying you don't need to like go an extra length to it. You just have access to it. Like I have
Yeah.
an Xbox account on my computer, I can play all the exclusives.
Mhm.
So like I get the whole multiple entry point thing, but again, I feel like throwing it all at once in all directions kind of like just weakens itself.
Yeah. I don't know. Like right now, if let's say when the next gen comes out, but you want to get into just a console in general, what you'd have to go for is either the full blown next gen, or you can get a brand new Xbox like the previous generation, which would at that point probably cost like $200, 250 if anything. Um, so let's say they come out with a low cost next gen, which is going to be $300, and this is something that replaces the previous Xbox. So if you're going to buy the previous Xbox, you can buy this new low cost next gen and still play all the previous Xbox games, including every next gen game that's going to come out. I think that's something that is really smart. I know Xbox, at least with them, they have the Windows, so that you can play most games on Windows essentially. But I think a lot of people, like me including, I enjoy playing a lot of games on my console. I don't really enjoy playing it on the computer. I just feel like installing too many things on the computer just bogs it down. So I like to keep it very clean. I have
Well
maybe
then,
3 or 4 games on here.
there's XCloud.
So is that the playing like online? Like you just like load the game essentially, but you're not.
Yeah, it's like the cloud service, sort of like
Yeah.
their Stadia or whatever.
I mean, I
And
haven't
I
tried
get
it
the
out, but
I get the
Stadia
hangups with
has
that.
had huge issues.
Stadia has, but
Yeah.
XCloud I haven't had. Like I've been trying it, I haven't had.
Oh, okay.
And like it's been a smoother experience.
Yeah.
But I get the hangups that could have. I'm just when there's so many options, I feel like it could convolute things. Like someone's asking, like, oh, like if you're at a GameStop or a Best Buy, and someone's like, how do I get into Xbox? And then you list like 10 different ways. I feel like the person's gonna be like, like that's the benefit of like an iPhone, where you're just like, do you want the iPhone? Here's the
Yeah.
iPhone. Do you want the Pro? Like it's just like one or two like ups and downs.
Hmm.
But I don't know, I get what you're saying. People like that console, like it's like a traditional thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a really good time. There's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna want to get into um, consoles, and I think if they do announce this and it's something that's released, I think it'll do really really well, at least with this moment.
Okay.
So yeah.
Jang, any final thoughts?
Make the money.
Riveting.
Whoosh
Um,
whoosh.
Whoosh whoosh. Vargas, was that anything
Yeah,
else, or-
that's it on my topic. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm curious how it'll go. But let's go into our next topic.
Let's do it.
All right, so we've been playing Valorant, and obviously they're gonna create more characters. So I want you guys to design a character, looks, abilities.
Dang, I didn't go all that way. Damn, I just came up with abilities. I can figure out a look though if you guys want to go first.
Okay. I had a few ideas, but some of them were more formulated than others. I'll just start with like my main one. I was trying to think of like because the whole shtick of this is they're agents.
Yeah.
Um,
Agents of Shield.
yeah. So I was trying to think of like different kinds of spies and agents of various fiction, and one I
Mhm.
was trying to model whatever I had based on that. And so I thought of James Bond,
Oh.
and I was trying to think of like, okay, what would a James Bond type of character have? And so the few things I thought were they'd have a laser watch because he always
Mhm.
got like the little gizmos and gadgets.
Yeah.
And what the laser watch could offer is disarming bombs from a distance.
Mm.
So
It
you'd
seems a
gain the
little
distance,
OP.
but you would see the laser like directly like.
Oh,
where-
okay, okay.
So like if it's a cloud or if it's just like you're like where's the bomb being disarmed from? You just see this beam coming through.
Yeah.
And you're obviously like prone or whatever, vulnerable to attacks. Then I had another ability where it buffs pistol capabilities for a limited time. Because I feel like
Mm.
Bond's always got like his like Walter P90 something. His Walter PP. And I feel like that'd be a cool way of like him like pushing someone to like wanting to become a better like secondary or pistol user.
Yeah.
Is if they use it with that class, it can amp it up and make it more formidable.
Hmm.
And then the last one I thought would be a thing because we haven't seen this before. You know how like there's the economy aspect of it,
Mhm.
Yes.
and like you have to buy, you have to save money. What if he had an ability where he could save, or he could take an enemy's like funds,
Or make it more expensive to buy shit.
or that
Tom
yeah.
Tom
So,
Tom Nook comes in and just
That's the ultimate. You just barter.
all of your finances have been
It makes it cheaper for your teammates and more expensive for the enemy team to buy stuff.
um. So that's all I'd have for that one.
Okay. Jank, do you want to go next?
mine would be a robot. I think his like ultimate would be he can move fast but don't make a sound, and it's time limited.
Gotcha.
His other three abilities would be like an EMP like grenade where it just slows you down.
Mhm.
And the ultimate where he like walks fast, his like bottom torso like kind of like
I think the connection on your mic might be messed up because it's you were.
I can't hear you, Jang.
And then you went quiet.
so the bottom torso when he does his ultimate, he does like a
You're
moon.
buzzing. You're buzzing.
Okay.
Yeah. Your connection might be not all the way. When are you getting that new mic though?
How about now?
There you
It's
go.
good.
Okay. Ultimate, move faster. Bottom torso will does a 180 moonwalk.
Mm.
EMP for just normal, but makes you slow.
Okay. And is that it?
There was, I can't remember now.
Enemy spotted.
Holy shit, I didn't write it down, but I
Okay.
can't remember the other two. But I want a robot,
A robot.
and he's all about speed, slowing people and moving fast.
Okay.
Okay.
Vargas.
So mine is gonna be an engineer. That'd be the subclass. So you'd be an agent engineer, something like that. Whatever Valorant
Okay.
wants to call him. Valor can't wants to call him.
Agent Q.
Agent Q. So they would have one of the abilities would be actually let's give them their keys. So the E ability, the one that you have active on cooldown,
Okay.
would be a it gives you shield automatic. Well, not like automatically, but like when it's fully done, let's say it gives you 15 points of shield. So like if you're able to like kind of stack it, you'd get like 15, 15, which would be 30, um, then 45, and then ultimately the 50 or whatever.
Okay.
And then I would say, not to make it as OP, the cooldown on that would be a lot longer. So then, let's say in a full match, you're able to get one off in the beginning, and then maybe like, I don't know, like 40, 45 seconds or like a minute left, you're able to do like the next cooldown or whatever. Because I feel like if you just keep stacking that, you just constantly have armor, like auto healing essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's say Q is similar to like a landmine where it's invisible, but as soon as it doesn't blow up, it just slows the whole area down. So as soon as someone walks over it, it does like a mucky area or something like that.
Like a bear trap.
Yeah, so that would have probably like what 2 charges you're able to buy. C would be like a mini torrent, but it just shoots similar to like a handgun. It shoots very slowly. Well, I mean, you can obviously spam the handgun, but it shoots very slowly, like one bullet at a time. And you're able to control it. So you can either leave it automated where it doesn't do so much damage to someone, but it's able to like scare them essentially. And then you can auto control it where if someone doesn't see it, you're able to kill them with that
Okay.
torrent. That would be just a one use, so you can only buy it once per round. And then their ultimate would be what is it called, disintegration ray.
Okay.
And so this ray, it takes a while to charge up, so you can see like the laser, and you're not able to move as you're charging it. So you obviously, if you can get someone in your sights as they come out of the corner, you're able to hit them. But the cool thing about it is you wouldn't necessarily use it for killing people. It can destroy objects. So like if you're in C and there's like this giant crate that people kind of put their plant behind, you're able to shoot this crate and just destroy the object, and then there's nothing blocking the bomb, and you can kind of just get to it or see people behind the crate or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be cool, and that'd be the ultimate. So you'd obviously have to get like 5 different rounds or 5 different kills or whatever it is it is to get an ulti. So, and then he'd have a yellow hat, hard hat.
Got that Mario Maker hard hat.
Hard?
But that would be my new agent of Valorant.
I was trying to think. There was another one I kind of had an idea for. Would be a Sherlock Holmes style character, and what I would have is they could like examine footprints.
Oh,
You know,
and
there should be another healer. Not like a full healer, but like, I don't know, like a cleric type of healer.
yeah,
where it does damage and heals at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was thinking about like a spy, like similar to what Kurosh was, but one that can kind of like meld and become the enemy essentially, similar to what they had in
Team
TFT.
Fortress.
TFT, Team Fortress, where you could just like you can temporarily hide as an enemy player. So like
that'd be cool.
the thing is, if you're actively aware, like if you look at your map, and you're like, okay, everyone went to C, I'm the only one at A, and all of a sudden you see like your teammate like walking towards you, you're like, well, that's not fucking him, you know? So it'd make it very easy for people that are very, very aware, but people that are new to the game or don't really know, or obviously you
Or
use it at
like
the perfect time. You can't just drop it off in the beginning or something like
you copycat like the same person on their team. It's like Captain America in Endgame.
that. Fucking Winter Soldier and shit.
Yeah, I thought the Sherlock one could also have like an ability where they summon like a Watson, and they would sort of it would be sort of like the fire guy you picked, Jang, but instead of you sending being the decoy that could do stuff, it would be another person somewhere like making sound on an opposite side or something. I thought another one could be cool would be like like Daredevil, because this game is so sound based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could like sacrifice vision for more enhanced sound detection. I think that could be an ability they could mess with. I also think they should mess with some of the meta settings. Like, what if all of a sudden you hack a player and they think they've lost all of their teammates?
Hmm.
Like if like I'm if
You can
let's
make
say-
it say messages to him, like the way it
well
does,
like
10
for instance, look at your UI. You could
Mhm.
see like that you have the mini map and you have
Yeah.
the characters at the top of your team. If one player is soloing C, you could have it look like all the team members on the rest of the side of the map are dead, and like their positions are not where they say they are.
Mhm.
And then the life counter is like all messed up and it just shows someone random on their team like is alive or dead.
Hmm.
Hacker man.
Acclimate. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just like you start like having I'm wondering, I think maybe they'd be like that's too powerful and it could mess with like the skill or the competitive edge.
Yeah,
Yes.
Or like someone's ult can drop 3 orbs. I don't know.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
make
so
someone
people
get.
like a buff.
Or you could transfer an ult. Well, if you get an ult, you can give someone else the ult. I don't know.
Ah.
What if it's an orb that either on your own teammate buffs them and on an enemy teammate debuffs them? So like you could drop an orb like in the middle of a pathway, and either the enemy has to go through it and take the damage, or just leave it and run around or whatever. So it's like it's very
could be
obvious,
like-
but you can't get rid of it.
It could be like how the decoy boxes are in Mario.
Hmm.
You could place it where you could like bug the existing orb.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I
that's,
thought
I
a-
mean,
A hook ability would be cool. Like,
get over here.
well, it could sort of be like Roadhog in Overwatch, but it could have a variety of like you could have a variety of hooks. So
Yeah.
you could have the ultimate be you pull a character across the map towards you, or like within
or-
vision.
It does it like in Diablo, where there's the very first big boss, or no,
Oh
no,
yeah,
The butcher?
yeah, the butcher. He does like multi hooks, so it's like
Yeah.
that's an ultimate. It just does it across the board. So if you're in
Yeah.
this, it'll just grab you.
And then I would say like the other like the E and the Q or whatever could be like traversal or holding in place. So like you could throw a hook or a chain and hold them down, or
Oh.
you could use it to like get yourself across the map real quick.
A lot of Overwatch characters have some kind of stun ability. Probably a stun.
Oh, yeah.
You just can't move or shoot.
Last player
What's up,
Yeah.
Guillermo?
That could be cool. But I think like yeah, I would want like a Bond character. I think that'd be kind of cool, like tuxedo and everything.
Fucking watch the laser thing. I mean, it, I mean, I don't know why. I feel like people would learn how to glitch it. Like they'll be able to somehow like aim at the bomb, start defusing it, and kind of walk behind a box, and you'll see the laser obviously go through the box or something like that. But I feel like obviously that wouldn't be the intention, but somehow someone would find like a way to glitch that.
Maybe the way that they like counter that is make it so it diffuses over a longer period of time.
Maybe a longer period, or obviously you just like you can't move at all. Like as soon as you're there, you're just like you're stuck in the position, like diffusing it or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe a benefit of it is like when you do it that way, like the amount that you're diffusing stays, so you can do like little by little by little, and like walk around and like confuse people or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny. That's all I got though for that.
Same. That's it. Jang, anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
Move on.
Well, let's go to the last topic. On the topic of Valorant, we both have now been playing, or all three of us. I mean, all three of us have now been playing this game for about at least a week.
No, I didn't play yesterday, so I haven't played for 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
bullshit.
And I feel like we gave our impressions of like when it first came out as viewers of it, but I wanted to get like a review of the beta from our perspectives now.
Yeah, let's do that.
My ultimate is
It's a
ready.
terrible
Ah,
game.
Okay, this is good.
It's terrible.
Dang.
Horrible. It's like the worst game. Don't recommend it. Don't play it, guys.
You heard it here.
No, really good. Yeah, like I don't know how it is, like the shooting and stuff. Like, I wouldn't say it's exactly like Counter-Strike, but very, very, very similar. It's like, I think it's like the only game obviously you can compare it to in likeness with shooting. And then the abilities, though, abilities completely change the game. The way you would normally play like a Counter Strike style game, and it makes it really enjoyable. Like they did a really good job with how the abilities are laid out, how you have to buy and obviously use money, which is really important. Like if you can't buy a good weapon, you're probably not going to end up winning the match. So you have to do a decision of either buying weapons or buying um
Abilities.
abilities if you have like that, if you're the in between. But it does seem to kind of get like pretty crazy if a team keeps winning. It just doesn't give the enemy team to kind of make a comeback with being able to buy weapons and abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah, those are some good points. Jang, what do you think?
I'm enjoying it. It's like, yeah, it's not like Counter Strike, but it's very similar. Like there's a lot of similarities. In Counter Strike, I don't remember, dude. I kind of regret I never bought flashes, and like in this game, like I'm buying flashes because my character that I use, um, I bought nades, but yeah, I don't know. It's very similar like Counter Strike. Like the weapon I use is like the M4, and then there's a
Mm.
weapon that's like an AK. The op is like the op. Very similar. Good map design. I don't know, just being the attacking team and infiltrating the defense is just, I don't know, to me it's like very fun. Checking corners,
Always check your corners.
Yeah.
making dude, the sound design probably one of the best. I mean, Tarkov is good, but it's a little too loud. The sound in
Well,
this game.
Tarkov has its issues. Like if you're underground, people that are above you sound like they're right next to you. So that's where it gets kind of weird.
Mm,
Mm.
I think sound is excellent. It's way better than Warzone. Like Warzone sound is horrible. Like you can tell where people are in this game.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. I think it's like got that competitive edge that CS:GO kind of like strives for, but it also has that simplicity of it where it's just like here's your your handful of guns, you're planting, you're
seconds
disarming, simple. It's simple as that. Like
Yeah.
very straightforward. But I think where you get a lot of the variety is with like a lot of the different agents and like how they can combine, um, and how the abilities all interplay amongst each other.
Hmm.
I like that. I feel like it's not overwhelming. Like I remember when Overwatch came out and it made TF2 feel like
Where will they go this time?
a cartoon, and Overwatch was like super polished. And I'm not saying it's not polished, but it's a different kind.
Yeah.
And like this feels like it's got a slower, more methodical like approach, more just like across the board too. It's like design. Like the maps are, there's a lot of intent put into like the corners and the lanes and the bomb placements. Whereas Overwatch, I think, is very like it thrives on the chaos. Um, I think um, the focus on like skill, like being the main, like if it not most times, it does a lot to try to prevent like lag and like if you hit detection being an issue.
Yeah.
I think most times if I die, I know why I died. um, and it's something I could have. It's either a team thing or it's my own fault of like my aim's not good or um, our communication wasn't on point or we were too loud we couldn't hear or whatever the reason is. I feel like I can dissect it pretty well.
Yeah.
The only like one of my main gripes though, and I think we've all kind of talked about it, is how long a match can be. Um, I feel like that could use some tweaking because it's kind like one match can be like if it goes back and forth like and they get really good and close and intense matches, um, it can go almost an hour.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if that for my taste that's a little much, but maybe like they could change that up with like competitive matches being this long, but like if you're playing casual, it's like half the amount or a fraction of it or something. I don't know. Those are my. I really enjoyed it. I think the whole free to play model is really good for a game like this to get. Like, I think the whole approach of how it's been introduced has been good.
What do you think?
Um,
The life? Do you think it's gonna be like the #1 game? I mean, it is #1 game watched, but like, what do you see the life cycle?
I think it'll like it's gonna thrive on its competitiveness, and so as long as there's a healthy competitive organization around it, whether it's grassroots or funded by Riot or organized by Riot, I think that's where how it's gonna have any longevity. Because people are like, the game is polished. It's got like, when you feel skilled, you genuinely are skilled. Um, and they've been doing a lot of incentives and measures to try to prevent hacking or to catch hacking. Um, so I think those are all the right moves. But right now, I think besides CS:GO, which is pretty old, this has been like an untapped market for this genre of shooter. What do you guys think about the longevity of this game?
I don't know. It's kind of a weird position right now because it's really popular, but it's in beta. You know, like if I think the game has to be like not released like essentially now, but if it ever gets released, it can't have a pause. It can't have a wait time. It can't be like, hey, the beta's over. Give us like another month, and then we'll fully release the game. I think it'll kill a lot of its um, momentum that it's gathered already through streaming. I think it would have to be just like, hey guys, tomorrow you can still be playing the beta, but tomorrow it will be a full base game. You'll see an update come through, and then you're able to, everyone's able to play the game for free or
Okay, so it
whatever.
needs to ride its momentum.
Yeah, it needs to ride its momentum. It can't stop this. It can't like put a pause on it for like a month or something like that. I think that's one way to help it continue to grow or continue to not falter essentially. But I don't know. I think this game will do well. Like, because the thing is, like, CS:GO has been a game that's been on top, and honestly, I see this being a CS:GO killer. Like, it's gonna dwindle the numbers of CS:GO, and this is gonna be the next #1 first-person shooter essentially on stream.
Jang, what do you think?
I don't know, man. I it goes back to that thing. What's killing Fortnite? Like, they need to
Dances.
make. I mean,
Dances with Wolves.
matchmaking has to be. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know.
Well, I think it's really interesting to see a shooter like this that's not a battle royale, since we've
Mhm.
seen just so many versions of battle royales been coming out.
Yeah.
To have success is a nice thing. Like, we've seen single player, we've seen battle royales, and then just like getting that like Overwatch hero but tactical competitive kind of game. Um, it's refreshing.
I agree. So we had a guy on stream ask us a question, dude. Are we buying PS4 or PS5 or Xbox?
PS5.
PS5.
If I'm picking between, like, there's no reason for me to get an Xbox.
Yeah,
For
there's
all the
no.
reasons I've said through countless episodes.
I mean, it's got to take. It's got. There is one reason to get a Xbox for
Halo.
Kurosh. No.
What? KOTOR?
Yes.
They'll put it on
Yeah,
PC.
it'll be on PC. I agree. I think I'm in the same boat as Kurosh. Like I can pick up the games I want on PC.
Here's
So
another
I'm gonna go with
question.
the
What if
PlayStation.
Microsoft makes a game, first party exclusive, like everyone's talking about it,
Console.
100 out of 100 Metacritic? Will you buy an Xbox? Only Xbox, not PC.
Like not, because the thing is like Halo was a big one, and that was never on PC. Obviously, like it's recently gone on PC, but that would have been, you know.
That would go against everything they've been building to make it only on their console. So
But we're not talking about.
even then, I would just get the entry level thing, like Vargas said.
Ooh, all of a sudden now my entry level is gonna be a good idea. I think I would too. I was gonna say if anything I'd probably end up buying like an entry level Xbox and just buy myself the PS5.
Last
Like,
player
I've heard great
standing.
things said about Half-Life Alex, and it's like the ultimate like VR thing to get. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not getting a
Ultimate
VR
fighting.
unit
I
for it.
wonder if they have any parts I can salvage.
I'm interested. Like, if I ever were,
Who knows?
it would be on
I
my
need
list.
those.
Yeah.
But I don't want like you were mentioning something, Vargas, about like updates and staying, you know, on pace. I also think like I was listening to some interviews with the developers and they were like, we don't want to react too quickly
Hmm.
to concerns of fans. Like for instance, the character I'm playing as right now in the stream, Raze, she had like the amount of grenades she could throw, the effectiveness of those grenades was really high, and they I think had like 1 or 2 weeks before they decided to like make a decision on like how to approach it. I think that's important. Is like
Yeah.
to react and respond, but like keep an idea. Like maybe people figure out like new metas and not just quickly just be like, oh, everything's OP. Like this is BS or I don't know. I think that's important
Hmm.
of like the right balance of how to respond versus just like responding for the as a knee jerk reaction.
Hmm.
What do you think about the way they did the beta release?
A genius.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
keep
like
creating such a hype for it.
yeah, I think no, they don't need to have a single commercial when they have all the top streamers that love shooters playing it and raving about it because then they got a
And
chance
it's
to like play
smart
it before.
to like limit it and then just fucking make it easy to get it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I wonder what the open beta is gonna do. Like that'll be curious. Like server loads. Like I've been reading a lot about like how they're implementing like their tick rate server stuff,
Yeah.
and they're like if we see a larger audience playing in a certain region, we'll go in and put in our own like internet services so that people get connected there through those servers. Um,
Here's do you guys want search and destroy type or did you guys want other game types?
I want to say that I feel like they're going to come out with other game types when this game is fully released. But I would like other games because there are people are going to play casually. Like I feel like obviously the game that is now, this is the competitive version of it. Like the way it's doing like 13 wins is the the winner and stuff like that. And it's only like very small time matches. I feel like there might be longer time matches and have like a different objective other than planting a bomb or something.
I could see that being like a custom. Like it'd be cool to see it in custom games. That way, if people want to like have some sort of tournament, they can just set whatever like territories,
Hmm.
control points, or capture the flag or whatever.
Yeah.
But it would only be in custom games.
Hmm.
And that's like I remember Halo having that where you just like people would make their own game types and save them, and then you would just like log on and play with a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
I think that would give it some interest, like an interesting direction. Um, what about you, Jake? Do you want it to stay how it is, or would you prefer some more modes?
More game types. Make it different.
Okay. I think another thing I appreciate about it is like it's easy to follow. Like I had said about like Overwatch, like if I were to watch someone playing this, or if I were to explain this to someone, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. It's
But
like
the user interface needs some work.
yeah, they could still polish up some stuff. But I mean, like if I like you're watching a tournament stream and someone next to you is like, I've never played Valorant. Like, what's it about? And you could just be like, all right, plant, disarm, one side goes, one side goes. Everyone's got some abilities, and these are the abilities are pretty, for the most part, straightforward. I think that simplicity is a good value.
Yeah. I agree.
Um, I do hope I want to see more maps. I know we said characters, but I would love to see like
Enemy spotted.
maybe 5 maps in a rotation or something. Right now we have 3. Um, and maybe like if they try to do some seasonal kind of stuff, they could rotate the maps to have a variety of other like either variations of those maps or something 5 new maps or something.
Hmm.
But I don't, and also I don't like. I want more characters, but I don't want because Riot has done League of Legends and League and Dota have like 40 to 50 characters. I don't want it to ever reach that point. Because like
Dude, the balancing issue would be crazy if they ever did that.
I mean, I don't know how balancing is for MOBAs, but I could totally see like that being a nightmare on a
I don't
game.
know. I at least with like Leagues of Legends, there are certain characters that people play, and as they realize like, hey, this guy kind of has a pretty OP ability, or like hey, there's a way to kind of like play this guy that is, I'm pretty sure unintentional, and he's kind of OP. They'll go and they'll revamp or like restyle him or whatever. But I feel like there's heroes that people never really touch at some point, and those guys get like they get left alone. Like they don't ever even touch those guys, and never update them or anything. No one ever really plays them essentially because there's just so many fucking characters.
Do you think they could ever do like maybe in casual mode all characters are available? Let's say like there's 15 characters when this like has an official launch. What if in ranked or in competitive for like season 1, 10 of those characters are available? And then season 2, you have a different rotation of characters available. Some might be the same, some might be excluded. Do you think that is a good thing, a good idea? Or do
I
you
think that's
it's
a
an
bad.
issue?
I don't think they should exclude any characters
Okay.
behind a paywall.
No, not a paywall. I'm just saying, like, if in the competitive games, like, do
Yeah.
you think you don't think that's a good idea?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Like
that's a bad.
if I'm required to play like a season to have a certain character be unlocked or whatever, I don't know.
No,
I don't think that's.
okay, I guess yeah, it could seem like it's locked. I was trying to think of like how that would change the meta of that season
Yeah.
and have variance without making.
I think if you're saying like, hey, just for this season, but after the season it'll be, they'll all be open again for everyone. Yeah, I think it can change. Like every season you only have certain characters unlocked, and you have to slowly unlock them or whatever. But it's always like at the end of the season they're all unlocked for everybody. Enjoy the
No,
game. Or
no,
whatever.
yeah. I'm not saying like they're not. Okay, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. I think the fact that it could cause this much confusion.
What do you think of the
Yeah.
stun when you get shot?
I don't know. That's something I don't really like. Like right now, like Jang or whoever it was just spamming me, and I can't move. Like it's stuck in place. Like I can't. It's frustrating.
I think I mean, it's sort of like a Dark Souls thing. It punishes certain behavior. Like you don't want to peek out, so you're more conservative about when and how you peek out.
Yeah, because I peeked out and like I literally tried to just move like out of the way, and like I move so slow. Like it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's a good thing. I think the way it handles a lot of the abilities and like I don't know, just it all kind of makes sense once I
You know,
got
I
the hang
kind
of it.
of wish each character had like a fast moving forward. Like like your character can use an explosive to jump up real high. Like
Oh,
something, yeah, some kind of movement where you can dodge real quick.
mm.
I think every character should have something like that.
It could be cool where like what you were saying how you'd like a fast robot. Like what if your character could have like a sprint so they could get across the map that much faster.
Yeah.
That could be, but I could see that like different characters having different sort of movement-based abilities. I don't know. Any final thoughts on the beta?
I mean, it's gonna be a free to play. I highly recommend people playing it, but it's not. I don't think it's something I'm gonna stick with. I'm not gonna try to get good at this game or anything. I'll probably play it, with friends and stuff casually. But
I think,
that's about it.
yeah, I agree with Vargas, but I know Wild Vargas is gonna play it forever. So
Yeah.
I mean, I finally got to see Wild Vargas. So I'm actually, I was pretty stoked about that.
Okay, here's another question for you guys then.
Player
How would you rate the solo queuing experience versus like playing with friends? Is it similar? Is it drastically like two different things for you, or what do you think?
I don't know. I think it's obviously this game or like most games is a lot more enjoyable with friends. So I do think like this game is really fun when you're playing with friends because you're able to talk to them and enjoy like who they are, and you
Make
can like kind of
jokes.
make jokes.
A lot of
Um,
engineers in here. A lot of
but
engineers.
when you're playing with like randoms, like you'll get like the tryhards and they'll be like, you guys fucking suck, or
Well, that's what I'm trying to highlight. Is like, is the solo experience insufferable, like where it's not
it's
enjoyable
not
at all, or
it's
is
not
it just okay?
No, like I mean, like yesterday, I played on my own a game which took forever, and no one ever really said anything. There was like 2 guys on our team that were like they were carrying the team, dude. The only reason why we even had like we were keeping neck and neck was these guys. Like they
I
would get stuck like 3-1, and they would take the 3 guys down.
I
Like
think
they
if it
would
was
win.
like team deathmatch,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a lot better. But search and destroy, you just need a good team. You need coordination, and it's not enjoyable when you don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a few like I haven't played. Like I know we played War Zones, but I don't have a lot of toxic experiences in that, or I haven't had too many. And even in Destiny, I don't have to listen to people on the mic.
Hmm.
This
can
game,
try
you
something.
can't like mute a
I'll see.
teammate if they're like talking shit or saying a lot of like vulgarities that
Yeah,
you don't
you
want to
can.
listen to.
You can mute them.
You can
can?
like you can put their volume down to 0.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no like actual
Oh,
muting.
okay.
You could put that specific person down to
But like
0.
for instance, that pizza guy we were playing with, like,
Yeah.
y- like,
I mean, at some point he muted himself.
but he could still like send like the chat messages
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone. Like I feel like that kind of stuff I want to be able to filter out if I just have a bad experience.
Hmm.
But it hasn't been too often to be a detriment. But it is something I was like, I hope that as in addition to cheating, they kind of address some of that. So, but overall, yeah, I'd recommend this. It is like a long session. Like I think of other games we've been playing. Like Warzones is very like for me quick to play. Like I can just drop in a game, and before I know it, I'm in the gulag, and it's over. um, or yeah, like even if it does go long, it doesn't go like longer than like 30 minutes. But
Yeah.
this is like minimum 30 minutes, could be up to an hour, depending on how intense the game is. But it's rewarding when you like the feeling of winning those close games is so. It's like a mix of relief, but also like exhilaration. Like we got that. Like we were the victors.
Last player standing.
So it's like this weird feeling of like
Yeah.
many things.
Yeah.
So.
It's really. I mean, I don't know. It's again with friends. This game is really fun. But yeah,
Or solo. Wild
solo. I
artist.
mean, that's where you get the wild people from. I don't recommend solo.
Give me a
Oh, that's my topic.
30 seconds left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Guys, where can people find you?
Attackers
They can
win.
find me at the Fulio365 on Instagram, and then the Fulio everywhere else.
At the last bosses everywhere.
And you can find me at Kuja Prime. You can find us all at the Weekly DLC. Check us out on streams. The Last Bosses has a stream going right now, but we also got the Weekly DLC YouTube. If you want to see the video uploads of these streams, we'd love to hear what you think. If you ever want to chime in or let us know what you think of the Valorant experiences, next gen consoles, anything in between, let us know. Until next time, we'll
DLC.
You later.